Yeah, hi there. These comments are for R, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. Hope you had a good weekend and you're enjoying the hot weather we're having right now. And I'm actually going to listen to your integrated speaking practice test number 4. This is the last one we're doing in our course. So, you say,
the talk explains the most important events surrounding the sinking of the Titanic.
Yes, so far so good. I like your introduction. It exactly answers a question. It gives your response a very clear, I think, organization.
More ice warnings come in and were directed to Captain Smith for his refuel.
Yes.
As the day went on, the temperature began to drop due to...
But wait a minute, what did the captain do when he got the ice warnings, right? I think eventually he ignored those ice warnings, wasn't paying attention to them, and that was an important event, because if the captain had listened to those ice warnings, then the ship would not have sunk.
The growing ice field surrounding the Titanic.
All right.
About 9 o'clock, Captain Smith headed off to bed and told Officer Lightler, if anything becomes doubtful...
Now, that's not really that important. Now, what you didn't say is it was a calm sea on a clear night, which means it would be difficult to spot icebergs because there would be no water breaking at the base. That was mentioned in the lecture.
Let me know at once. Titanic now traveling at 22.5 knots. The sea was still calm and the temperature had dropped to the chilly 31 degrees. Frederick Felt and Ronald Lee stood in the crew's nest, acting as lookouts.
All right.
Their binocular having been misplayed at the Southampton made seeing anything difficult.
Yes, this is important. The fact that they misplaced their binoculars will make it more difficult to spot icebergs. So that was a very key point. It's a good thing you brought that out.
With the Atlantic being so calm, iceberg would prove difficult to spot.
Now, how long are you talking here? Wait a minute. You're spending too much time here. You only needed to speak for 1 minute.
The talk explained with the California station that he attempted to replayed thank you and hung up the phone. First Officer William Murdoch ordered the engines to be...
Now you're spending too much time here. You're killing yourself here. You only need to focus really, let me see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's really 4 main events. If you're summarizing means you don't have to explain all of the ideas. But if you said these ideas, say first of all it was a calm sea, which means it would be difficult to spot icebergs with no water breaking at the base. Another important event which maybe caused the Titanic to sink was the fact that the ship was traveling quite fast at 22.5 knots per hour, which would make it even more difficult to move out of the way if they did see an iceberg. Number 3, the Titanic, the captain, the crew, they had ignored repeatedly ice warnings from the California. Also, they misplaced their binoculars in Southampton, which would make it more difficult to spot icebergs. All these events would be important in causing the ship to sink on that fateful night. So you spent way too much time here. You're missing the point here. You spent almost 3 minutes here. No. See, that's not what you're doing when you're summarizing. When you're summarizing, you're taking, in this case, a lecture that goes several minutes long. You're trying to condense that to a much shorter format. All right, so now let's take a look at your score here. The good thing is, you're not perfect in your delivery, but you made some improvements with your intonation. I like that. It's not perfect, but you were trying to vary your intonation more than you have in the past. I'm going to give you some credit for that. That was good. You seem to have pretty good control of your language use, including both your vocabulary and your grammar. Topic development, though, this is your biggest weakness. You spent too much time talking about too many different things. You didn't focus on the most important ideas and the most important supporting points. So you have to be a little bit more careful in how you present those ideas. Okay, your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.5 out of 4. That's going to put you at 19 points out of 30 on this practice test. Now, for the purposes of our class, if you want to go to the syllabus, let's figure out your grade here. I'm going to go to page 9. Okay, here we go. So I gave you 2.5. That's going to put you at 85% on this assignment. Anyway, thank you for completing the practice test.